Hey guys, welcome in Gorilla Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Bulpin, and it's Thursday, December the 19th, which means we got Thursday night football. I got 3 plays going today, 2 official plays, and a same game parlay. Let's get into the action. My first plays, I'm taking Cortland Sutton. Now, this number has plummeted on DraftKings only. So I bet it yesterday at 62.5, and it's down to 53.5 at DraftKings. So we're going to take over 53.5 receiving yards. I bet this again at 53. I'm not sure why this number is plummeting on DraftKings, but it's holding steady at 62.5. So 9 yards of value between the two different books. Make sure you're shopping around for the best price. DraftKings 53.5 for Cortland Sutton. Now he's covered this in 6 out of his last 7 games. He's averaging 86 yards a game over his last 7. We were on him last week. He lost for us. He had 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. But he also had 9 targets and 2 pass interference calls against him. So he had a ton of air yards. I would absolutely bet this again. If you asked me to bet last week's Cortland Sutton bet again, I would totally take that again. With all those air yards and those 9 targets, the chance of him messing that up again or him and Bo Nix not being on the same page that much again is pretty unlikely. Now, Mike Evans just scorched the Chargers last week. He plays the same position as Cortland Sutton, and he went 9 for 159 and 2 touchdowns. So we're getting a massive discount from last week's 72.5 yards. We're getting it down to 53.5. That's a great price. Give me Cortland Sutton over 53.5 receiving yards. On the other side of the ball, we are going right back to our new boy, Stone Smart. Now we're going to take him over 29.5 receiving yards. That's on FanDuel. That's the best price. I see DraftKings around 32.5. Now we smashed for this last week. We took him over 24.5 receiving yards. We took him 40 plus and we took him 50 plus. All 3 of those bets came through for us last week for this guy. So in the 1.5 games, he's been a starter. He's gone 5 for 50 yards last week and he went 3 for 54 and a half a game the week before. Denver gives up the second most targets to the tight end position. And like Will Dissly, the tight end for the LA Chargers, he's having a career year. He's been in the league for 7 years. This is by far his best year, which just goes to show you that Justin Herbert loves checking it down to the tight end position. And Stone Smart is athletic. He's big. He's strong. I was kind of comparing him to Jonnu Smith, and he didn't let us down last week, and I don't think he's going to do it again this week. 29.5 receiving yards. I love this again. Give me Stone Smart. My last play is going to be Quentin Johnson over 36.5 receiving yards. Now, this guy's covered this in 3 of his last 4 games. His last 2 games have been nice. He went 5 for 45 with a touchdown and 5 for 48 with a touchdown. Now, I think Patrick Surtain, one of the best corners in the league, should be covering and giving most of his attention to Ladd McConkey, which should open up the middle of the field for Quentin Johnson. And this guy loves a good long ball. So he could honestly do this 36.5 yards in one throw. So I do like Quentin Johnson over his 36.5 yard receiving prop. And when you put the 3 of those together with a boost, you get a plus 780. So not a bad price there either. So those are our 3 plays for Thursday night football, guys. If you're rocking with me, let's roll.